I told Kim about this. I'm like, Kim, I'm finna start training. I'm finna start training my friend. And she's like, how much you gonna charge him? I was like, I don't know if he's gonna do it, but like, I think $5 a session. I was like, I'll do it for free, but like, I think I should make him pay something.
How we got into fitness. How these two marvelous coaches wound their way up.
Beautiful coaches
wound their way up into coaching. And I'm gonna let you go ahead and fam, you go first.
Let's start with you.
You go first.
Okay, I'll go first.
You know you want to go first.
So, fitness is very interesting for me. And the reason it's interesting is because it played such a vital role in my happiness and upbringing. And it kind of started with sports. So, just to kind of give you a backstory, growing up, my mom raised my brother and me by herself, and we obviously, there comes struggles with that, and it was very difficult. So, we had a lot of struggles coming up. So I'm talking, it was a surprise if we were going to have water, if we were going to have electric, if we would have food. I had to ask my next door neighbor I took a bucket to my next door neighbor and asked him, and I had to use the water hose on the side of his house so we could wash clothes, so we could take a bath. And that was kind of my life growing up. And, I had some, with no father in my life, I had a father figure kind of take advantage of me and my brother. And we had 3 years of abuse that we went through. And throughout my journey, my mom passed away when I was 16. And I had to just kind of figure out life by myself. And what really kept me sane through all that was my separation from fitness. My separation from the struggles and the troubles by being active, by being in my sports. Some of my coaches were the biggest role models and the biggest, father figures in my life, because, it gave me hope, and it gave me something that I could appreciate and look forward to. So I actually, when I played sports my entire life. I walked on at UCF, and I attempted to play college football. And I had an interesting journey there. And what happened is the first year I made it, I made the team, and I was all ready to go. And I got to the part where they do the physical examination, and obviously you have to disclose your injuries, and they found out that I had a shoulder problem, and they're like, hey, you need to take care of this, like, we can't let this linger on. And I was like, okay, I've had it since high school. My shoulder used to sublux, so it would come out of place and then come right back. And it used to be so painful, and it really kept me away from sports a little bit. So I gave it a couple years to let it rest and let it recover, because when I had the examination and stuff, they said nothing was wrong. So it was really frustrating. Long story short, I had that examination. They told me that I have a torn labrum and I need to have surgery. I missed the entire year, and they told me I would have to try out again next year. I tried again next year, and I make the team again. And
because you were badass, huh?
Yeah,
you walked on time.
I don't like to brag,
Okay.
But I made the team again, and I was on the team for a couple months. And one day I had a note to go see the advisor, and I went in there. I'm just like, what's going on? Like, why do they want to talk to me? And she tells me that somehow my eligibility has run out. And she's like, you can continue playing, or you continue being on the team, but you wouldn't never be able to play. And I'm just like, gosh, man, I quit my job. I took out way more loans than I should have, because that was the only way. I mean, football is a full-time job, so I made a hard decision.
Or playing football for collegiate football, yeah.
Especially Division I football is a full-time job. So I made a tough decision, and I talked to you about this, and it was really difficult because my entire life, what really gave me hope and perspective on like, hey, one day I'm going to be able to take care of my mom, I'm going to be able to take care of my brother, is like, I can make the NFL one day, right? And I was good. I thought I could possibly make it. And for this to happen, it just kind of felt like it was out of my control, and I didn't know what the best thing to do was, right? What was the next step? So I talked with you, and I decided to just say, forget it. I'm gonna figure out what I want to do with my life. And I was already a pre-physical therapy student, so I've had a lot of injuries already, and I kind of just decided, like, hey, that's gonna be my journey. After that, I really hit kind of like a rock bottom a little bit. I kind of went through a little bit of, I would say, depression, because I gained, I don't know, I mean, I got to the heaviest I've ever been, like 15, I added 15, like 20 pounds to my size, stopped working out for about 6 months. I literally did nothing.
Eating movies, popcorn, in the dark.
It was a really sad
all
place.
Day,
it was a sad place for me.
All night.
And, I mean, just think about it. You want to do something your entire life, and then you realize that is never going to happen. And I had to figure out what I wanted to do. And we had a lot of conversations through that period. And one day I just started walking. I started walking, and you're just like, get out there, and like, you gotta
get out the house.
You gotta get out the house. You gotta do something.
You need to move, son.
So I just got out of the house, started walking, and that's why walking is so powerful.
And let me give a little bit more of a descriptive on your pre and post going through that, where you were, on the field and then told that you couldn't be and you were off the field. Josh was in like the best shape. I would have to say you were in the best shape of your life.
I was pretty sexy.
Yeah, you look pretty good. You look pretty good. I'd hit. And he was training like every day, even before you were a walk-on. He was training every single day, doing agility drills, hitting the gym with, you had 2 other guys that you were training with at the time, and they all were like super consistent. So for him to go from like being just like, shredded and muscular and just looking like, his aesthetically, he was pretty lean. Going from that into being told, like, you know what, dude, you can't do this. Sorry, eligibility ran out. And then going into that depression that because I think you had a pretty good state of where you just were in this mode that you could not get out of. And going from that into just gaining 10, 15 pounds from just sitting on the couch watching TV. And for me, like, when you gain those 10, 15 pounds, it wasn't like, I didn't care. It was fine to me, because I liked you either way, the way that you were. But it just showed how much of an impact, or how hard it hit you when this thing was taken away from you. So going back to, you can continue, because I think it's really important for them to know like how you were able to kind of maneuver your way through getting out of this new lifestyle you had created for over 6 months, and being someone who was healthy and active pretty much their entire life, going from that and like hitting this rock wall for 6 months. Like, how were you able to transition out of? So I started walking, and at the time I ended up getting my job back, and I started working. And I took a little bit of time from actually having a job too. So, I mean, I was straight bumming it, and it was, like I said, it was a really dark place for me. And I started to move more, do more, get out, put myself out there. And I had a friend from work that was like, hey, bro, like, would you ever train me? And I was like, I mean, I guess so. Like, I mean, because when we were trying out for football, me and 2 other friends, I would train them. We would collab and work together, and it was a lot of fun. And I mean, some of the happiest times of my life. And I started training them. The first, I told Kim about this. I'm like, Kim, I'm finna start training my friend. And she's like, how much you gonna charge? I was like, I don't know if he's gonna do it, but like, I think $5 a session. I was like, I'll do it for free, but like, I think I should make him pay something. Listen, hold on, Justin, if you're listening, Justin knows what this is. Oh, I remember that. Keep going.
Dang, I'm looking about that now, man. See, some of you missed out. You could have had $5 sessions.
Can you imagine working a job where you only get paid $5 an hour? Can you imagine?
But anyways,
Okay.
I started to have a lot of fun, right? Like I just started to feel like myself. And then I felt like I was making a difference. Like, you know, I saw his body start changing, his attitude started changing, and then it just kind of caught on. I started training another friend, and then I ended up deciding that, hey, I want to make this like full time. Like I want to do this, and I ended up graduating from physical therapy, and not physical therapy, undergrad, and decided not to go into physical therapy grad school and do this. And this is where I am today, and I'm so excited about the future, and I feel so fulfilled with what I do every day. And this is why it's so important to me. This is why fitness is so important, because it can impact your life so much more than most people think, and it has these ties into your life and intertwines much more than just looking better. So it means everything.
And you know what? I just want to kind of highlight something that you mentioned, or I don't know, bring more awareness to it, because a lot of people sometimes think that just because we're coaches, right, that, you know, we're working out every single day and we're doing all of these things and stuff, which, you know, we do live a healthy, active lifestyle, that's no doubt. But a big piece of coaching for me, and I don't know if this stands for you too, but a big part of coaching, which is super beneficial for myself, is I have all of my ninjas that are keeping me accountable. That's what I feel like, right? Mm-hmm. Like if I'm not living what I'm speaking, then what am I doing? So it's like that piece, like, you know how the ninjas, they come and they coach with us because we help keep them accountable, but in retrospect, they're really keeping me accountable as well. They don't even know it, but they are. So it's interesting that when you were in this, you know, dark phase where the sun wasn't shining and the moon just stayed out, you were able to, you started a little bit of activity, walking, getting out of the house and stuff like that, but you were able to really expedite your movement because you had another person that wanted you to coach them, and in return it was an accountability for yourself to get you back on track. Which is why, you know, having like an accountability partner or someone to hold you to the things that you're doing and saying and helping you get through these things, it's so important. Like, people don't understand how important it is to have someone hold you accountable, because it's hard doing this on your own.
So hard. Yeah.
It's hard. But yeah, that was
and just to add to that, when someone believes in you, oh man, that's everything, you know. And it's not even them saying that, hey, I believe in you, like, you can do it. It's more like, this is the action. Like, they're showing they believe in you, not just telling you. And gosh, man, like, you can really change people's lives. And that's why what we do is so powerful, and we're so passionate about it, because we know, like, and Kim has her story too, right? Like, I have my story, Kim has her story, but we all have a story. We all have our struggles, and fitness and exercise and movement just does the body so much good, and it can pull you out of things, it can pull you out of dark places and really transform your life. Not just the way you look, but internally, mentally, emotionally, everything.
Yeah. Well, let me see how I follow that up. Let me get into mine.
Now, check this out. We're going to make this a two-part series, because we dove really deep into mine. No,
baby. So, you dove really deep into yours.
We're going to make this a two-part series.
Fair enough. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah.
So in our next episode, Kim is going to go deep. I'm
going to take you down the journey of how I got into fitness.
Oh man. Oh, I'm excited.
So
you're going to hear this. You're going to want to hear this.
Yeah. So thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. If this impacted you in any way, or you know someone that might be struggling with trying to get back into a routine, I think this story of Josh going through his cycles of ups and downs, and, you know, throughout his entire life, will definitely help bring other people that could be struggling with the same things, and help give them the motivation and inspire them to keep moving forward, and know that, you know, there is light at the end of the tunnel. You'll always see it. You have to first see it, and then, you know, then the sun starts to shine.
You got to take the first step.
Yeah.
You got to take the first step. So
there you go.
Look at that. You like that?
I like that. I like how he tied that in there. You have to take the first step.
So make sure you share this with a friend, and we'll see you next time.